I made this video a few weeks ago, and I do that sometimes, and I shelf videos, but then this one made me have to come back and publish it because it's all about Alex Jones and the flat earth, and he recently did a debate which was pretty ridiculous, and the results were actually kind of interesting, where a lot more people picked flat earth at the end than they expected. And Alex Jones comes in for one brief little cameo, and he says something that is supposed to prove the world is round still, but it absolutely does not. And because of simply of this quote that was going around Twitter in this particular debate, it made me feel the need to publish the video that I was going to shelf, and which explains all my thoughts on Alex Jones and his take on the universe. So listen to this real quick.
Alex Jones has made his appearance at the Flat Earth debate.
Listen, I'm only going to ask you a real quick question. Are the sun and other planets flat as well? Because I'm a big astronomer since I was a kid with my dad, when we had professional telescopes when I was a kid. Now anybody can get them, they have the computerized controls. I've sat there overnight drinking a 12-pack of beer in college with a 35mm camera hooked to a 12-inch refractor telescope and taken photos of Saturn and Jupiter and watched it as it's turning, watched the globes turning. I put green lenses on the telescope. We could watch the sun and over an hour see it turn and see see coronal mass ejections moving in the time lapse. Boom, it's round.
So globies that kind of choose when they want to like Alex Jones or not were all over this on Twitter, and they loved this. But to me, and to anyone else that has a brain, when you're listening to it, you're thinking, how in any way does that prove that the Earth is round when the sun and these other objects are circular in nature? But it's absolutely foolish, because I could say that I'm standing like anything. He's not talking about the Earth at all. He never mentions the Earth. He's talking about complete other celestial bodies and how he watched them rotate. But what does that have to do with the Earth that we're on and the Earth rotating? But he treats it as a mic drop moment that fools lashed out, like put out there. And the way he says it, you can tell he's scared. He's a little uncomfortable. Alex Jones feels very confident when he knows what he's talking about and he's got the facts to prove it. When he's shaky like this and a little dodgy, you can tell he doesn't know. And you can also tell that he knows he's actually putting out something that he shouldn't be and that he doesn't truly believe in. That's what I totally see, because this example he used is so pathetic that it made me publish this video. So I hope you enjoy this, and again, take him for what he is. I've always believed that Alex Jones, although I believe he has a good heart, I believe he is also definitely a controlled person. And with his censorship and all the things that have been going on in the past, his entire past, there's always kind of hints. It goes back and forth, kind of like Trump. Is he good? Is he bad? It goes back and forth no matter what you hear. And Alex Jones did this on the State of the Union with Tucker, and it made me think.
Or you can just say, whatever Disney and whatever Viacom and whatever CNN tells me, I do the opposite. You'll do quite well doing that.
Now keep that in mind as you think about Alex Jones or review Alex Jones. And I'm not going to go into super in-depth with this. I'm just going to kind of stick to this interview. But I've seen a lot of Alex Jones. I know what he thinks about the universe, and he does not agree with the flat earth. He's countered that so many times. He is a firm believer in the many galaxies and literally the universe as told by Disney and Viacom, which he just told you was not the case, to steer away from. So constantly he tells you one thing. He gives you a little bit of insight that's good and true, and then he slams you with stuff that's on the bigger scale not true at all. And that's what his purpose is, and that's why he's out with Tucker and the big guns and Elon. They're best buddies. They all do the same thing. They all stick to that plan. Neither of them will even consider the flat earth. Yet when every free-thinking, smart, intelligent person goes down the flat earth, spherical earth line and starts to research, there's only one general conclusion, and that it's not a tiny sphere. Absolutely not. Which means there is so much more to be discovered, and all these people are holding that from us.
Exactly. So we have that heaven and hell. We have that potential of the little g God. We have what science fiction writers like Jules Verne's 140 years ago wrote about. like rockets that take off, go to the moon, and come back and land again. Elon Musk has done it.
So he's kind of avoiding the NASA has done it thing, and he goes right to Elon's done it, who clearly has not done it. Any of those videos that he's seen, there's nothing that has shown that he's actually done that and landed on the moon, which, again, we still don't know if it's a disk, a ethereal energy, some form of map, some form of anything. We don't really know what that is. People keep being deceived on this, but Alex Jones is a big influencer of the space community, and he's one of those ones where he's got such a following, and a lot of people really listen to him, that if he just completely belittles the flat earth and anything else like that, enough people will end up following it because he's seen as that kind of fringe guy. However, he's definitely doing more damage than not, and just absolutely, Elon let him back on the Twitter platform, and he's just been like kissing his butt ever since, nonstop. They all do. They're all part of that same team, and the big thing that they will not let go of is the tiny sphere.
Whatever we can envision, it's not like Oprah's Secret where it instantly happens, but with the potential of technology and society, and like Elon says, a big enough population, you need billions to build infrastructures that can do anything. And then once you realize the planet's tiny and there's hundreds of billions of galaxies that are close, I mean, we can see, then you go, oh my God, we're like embryonic right now. We're like a tadpole.
And Tucker is giving him the look that he is like the smartest man alive. And, oh, we live on this tiny planet. There's thousands and billions of galaxies that we can see pictures of what NASA graphic designers have shown us. We haven't actually seen them with our eyes. We've never absolutely seen them. We've never sent anything out there. We've never done any of these things. And Alex Jones perpetuates this. This is the biggest one. He can tell everything he wants about governments, all the secrets about our government, about the world government, the New World Order, everything like that. And it's all pretty much meaningless if you continue the main lie that it's all based on. When you're housing that, all the elites, all this stuff that he exposes, he does a great amount of exposure, but nothing compares to this one. And he's a strong thinker. He thinks very hard. So where is his proofs of any of these things? And whenever he encounters them, he avoids conversation, and he just believes in what Viacom and Disney told him.
It's like, can we turn to a frog? We're turned to a butterfly. That turns into a spaceship. That turns into a god, basically. And so we're a tadpole right now. We can do anything. And they're trying to tell us, no, you're scum, you're ugly, you're racist, kill each other, because the globalists want to extract out of us that essence of infinity that God's given us, that God essence. We're not God, but we're little g, that the first book of the Bible tells us. They want to extract that and use that for their life extension, their empowerment, their greedy control, instead of all of us sharing this incredible magic metamorphosis we're about to have. And they're trying to block the birth pains of what we're about to become, but I can tell them, you're going to fail.
Now that is absolutely loaded, because he, is in one way he's talking about the awakening and people awakening and ascending to kind of another level of consciousness, which I do believe is possible, but it's impossible if you are still believing that we are the tiniest thing on this planet. And a lot of people on Twitter and other ways are realizing the difference between what a god is like on a tiny sphere and what a god is like in an infinite plane where we don't know anything besides our tiny prison realm. I recently came across an article, too, from the 1800s that I didn't include here because it's going to be a pain for me to find, but they were talking about how, just the significance of God. If we are on a small, tiny, insignificant little planet, the significance of God, the God of the entire universe, sending his one son to this absolute one out of a billion, trillion, gazillion specks. And that is a little harder fetched than to believe that we are a creation of God on an infinite plane that has been going for time immemorial with, ups and downs, ebbs and flows of all different kinds, of chaos, of beauty, of heaven and hell, all that stuff. And without while still believing the NASA lies that they're telling us of our tiny little atheist, insignificant existence, it crushes everything, and it makes Alex's mission kind of dissolvable, because you can't, he's just basing with his emotions and his feelings on that. He's not questioning anything, whereas he questions everything else. And I think that's also part of the point, is they want people these inquisitive, very smart people to just immediately belittle the flat earth and to just be so confident in their billions of galaxies theory that it makes all of us just kind of cower at the thought of going against that. But in actuality, people are empowered by it. People are greatly empowered by it, by realizing that they are not tiny, insignificant balls on a speck in the middle of nowhere, floating around, meaningless. We do have meaning, we do have power, and it all comes from that. And so from this realization that the world around us and the structure of our universe is completely unknown to us. If we think we know the workings of God and we can describe it in a couple sentences, then we are deluded beyond repair. And that's what these people are here to do. The Tuckers, the Trumps, the Alex Joneses, the everyone's, the Joe Rogans, they're all doing the same thing, and that's why they're allowed. That's why I'm not allowed. That's why a lot of other people like me that think like me are not allowed to succeed, because they know that if we do, we will shout from the rooftops enough information that will empower a massive amount of people in any given time, and we will take control back from then, the free thinkers of the world, not the controlled thinkers, which are everywhere and all you see. The free thinkers will come back into power, and that's when the world will be amazing again. Bless you all.